Hello friends, welcome to the video on basic functions in Google Forms. So excited to have you here. So the first thing we need to do is start off by getting to a blank Google form. Did you know that the easiest way to get to a blank Google form is to type in forms.google.com/create? And that will bring you directly to a brand new Google form that's blank and you can begin writing your form. So let's start. The first thing you need to do is always title your form. You do not want it getting confused with anything else in your Google Drive. So we're going to entitle our form using Google Forms. And all you need to do is click here. And so you've saved your title here and here in two different places. You can certainly change that at a future date. The other piece you can do is write a form description. This will just give more information to students or whoever happens to be taking and using the form. Let's focus on the meat of Google Forms, and those are the questions. So if you click your cursor right on where it says Untitled Question, you will get the question dialog box. Pulling down this drop-down menu will show you all the different options you have for types of questions. So many goodies under this drop box. For example, short answer and paragraph, your traditional multiple choice, your linear scale, all different kinds of great options for questions. Let's stick with the multiple choice. The question we're going to add in is, which of the following Google apps does not allow for video insertion? And your options simply can appear by clicking and typing. Is it Google Docs, Google Drawings, or Google Forms? Scrolling down, you will see that you have 3 dots. Anytime you see 3 dots in any of the Google apps, it means there is more functions to be had and used. Clicking on those, you will see here that you have a couple of different additional things you can do with the question. You can give a question description. I like to use this if I need to give an explanation of a question or a reminder to students of where they should be focusing their attention, for example. Clicking on it again, I see that I can use a go-to section based on any answer. So let's click on that. Now, Google Forms has a great function in which you can direct students to a particular section in the form. So let's say students get the question wrong and you want to direct them to review material without having to go searching the internet or finding a textbook in the back of your classroom or in their locker or asking a friend that might only have half the answer. You can direct them to review material such as a video, a chart, a graph, or just a couple of sentences that you've typed in. And this creation of this can get a little bit tricky, but it's nothing that you can't do. And in subsequent videos, we'll take a look on how to do that. So for now, let's just stick with the basics. Take these off. So one of the other great tools that Google Forms offers is the ability to insert videos. So for you classroom flippers out there, this is fantastic. By clicking on the video insertion button, it brings you right to a search bar for that searches YouTube. Now, I would suggest that you go to YouTube and you curate your videos and get the URL, copy and paste it here so that then you can add it into your Google form. But you can also run a search. Now, I'm going to run a search for classical conditioning. This is a topic we study in my AP psychology class. And as you can see, tons of different varied videos pop up. Again, my suggestion is that you curate your video or videos prior to creating your form, get that URL and copy and paste it. But for our purposes here, I'm going to run that search. And I know I've seen this video before, so I know exactly what is in How to Train a Brain, which is one of those crash course videos concerning psychology that I use all the time. So I'm going to click on that. And it's going to insert the video into my Google form. Again, here are my 3 dots. It allows me to do a variety of things to the video. I'm going to center it, and I'm going to add a title, How to Train a Brain What is so great about this is that you can then ask questions based on the video. So you can build in some student accountability and you can see where they are in terms of the content. And sometimes it can force the student to go back into the video and review material that perhaps he or she has not gotten yet. So here are our questions and our video. And it's always a good idea to preview what that's going to look like to students. So clicking on the eyeball, you will then be able to see what the students will see. It's always a good idea to do that every few minutes or so, just to get a feel for what students are going to be looking at. See this purple here, you can change colors by simply clicking on this palette. You can add, make this a picture. Really kind of cool customization tools. This is the settings. And here you can set things to happen in a certain way. So for example, you can collect student email addresses. You can limit it to one response. You can have respondents be able to edit after they already submit their answer. So if you want them to try it again, you can see what summary, you can see that have students see the summary charts and their responses of, all of the Google form. Lots of things that you can do. You can change the way that the form is presented by showing a progress bar or shuffling the question order, things like that. You can create your own customized confirmation message, which is really great. You can also make this form a quiz, thereby giving you some options that you don't have in a regular Google form. For example, assigning point values and then giving immediate feedback for whether they got the question correct or not. Lots of different things you can do under settings. The other piece here, again, my 3 dots, allows me to be able to make a copy. I can get rid of it altogether to start from scratch. I can get a pre-copied, pre-filled link to the form to use in an email or on a website. I can add collaborators, lots of different stuff. So how do you get your form to your students? Well, this is how you do it. You send, and you see you have a variety of different ways in which you can send your form. First thing you can send it by is email, just like a regular old email message. You can then get a link to it. This is the big long link, but you can then, of course, shorten it. You copy it by clicking on this and adding it to your email or adding it to your website, your Google Classroom, whatever you want. You can also embed this. This gives you the embed HTML coding, used mostly for a website if you want to embed a form on your website. You can also post to social media, Google+, Facebook, and your Twitter if you happen to use classes that have if you have a Facebook or Twitter account for your classes or Google+. So Forms allows you to do a lot of different things. And one of the things that we'll look at in one of the subsequent videos is how to get this information. Where does this info go once students respond? It actually goes and can be brought up in charts and graphs. It also gets populated into a spreadsheet. And so in the next video, we'll look at all the different things that you can sort of do with that spreadsheet in order to really up the ante on formative assessment, for example, using the information to help guide your instruction. I hope you found this useful and helpful. Until next time.